Welcome back to the Panthers Perspective. My name is Randy, and I'm here with
Coach Martin.
Isaac Falcon, Luis Ramirez.
So how do you like your first year at Rangers Pass?
So far here, it's been really nice. Really enjoyed the area. Never really been to South Texas in general, only for vacations. So obviously being from West Texas, the desert of Lubbock and San Angelo area. Midland, Odessa, it's been a nice little change up. I've seen more rain in the last, when I get down here in June, last 3 months than I've seen probably in the last 3 years. Kids and the people I work with are nice. It's a lot different. I'm not saying the kids that I left weren't nice or anything like that, but they kind of weren't receptive to the coaching down here. They've been receptive to the coaching and wanting the coaching. That's been a refreshing thing, working with guys like Randy and Isaac out there on the football field and having Juan as a manager. It's been great. Everybody, I've been trying to get more coaches down here to come join the staff and join what we got going on because things are changing for the right way. I just wish he could be a part of it. You know, he's a senior this year, and so far it's been, highly enjoyable. Haven't had anything, really regretting it. More so, just wish I got down here a lot sooner. I had people telling me to leave Angelo a lot sooner than when I did. Was there for 9 years, playing there. So I've been a part of that program since pretty much 2009. So you're looking at, 15 years. So it was time to go. So it's been a nice, refreshing, and I kind of had started to lose the passion for coaching and was really starting to question whether it was me that kind of knew what I was talking about and stuff. And coming down here and working with these cats has made the decision a whole lot better for me. And it's been a blessing. So I really enjoyed it. So can't complain.
So would you say coming down here is more of like a refreshment for you?
Yeah, I would say that, and kind of was more of one of those things like, not really a refreshment, but kind of, those people, they needed some time like to get away, but it was kind of like a new adventure, I guess you could say. Like I needed something else. In Angelo, it got monotonous, you could say, where basically, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but everybody knew me and my family. I mean, I couldn't go anywhere without, somebody stopping and wanting to talk, go out to dinner. I mean, once you teach for 8-9 years, you have former students that see you, which wasn't a bad thing or anything like that. It was just like for my fiance, she wanted to go out and it be me and her time. You know what I mean? Like, hey, how's your day? Da-da-da. Well, when you're like what I was in, it was you go and see 10 different people, and it was never that one-on-one time. How's your day? It was like, oh, hold on, I got to talk to so-and-so. I mean, going to HEB, I get stopped in there 20 times. I remember one time we went, she literally just left me to go shop on her own because I was sitting there talking to 4 or 5 people, and about an hour later she's like, I'm done. I was like, I'm sorry. So it's been nice being I guess you could say a nobody, and so for that aspect, I just needed that change up. It got to be the same old stuff. Here it's a new thing, new kids, new adventure, and so like I said, that's been probably the most refreshing of it, as well as, like I said, just working with the kids here, because where I got to, I mean, they were good kids and stuff. They go to D1 and stuff like that. Problem was they didn't want to put in the work, and we were going about 500 compared to when I got there 2017. We were going undefeated for 3 years in a row in regular season and go 2 or 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. And so that you kind of had kids just kind of hang on the coattails of players in the past, you know what I mean? So it's good to be down here where, I got upset with the kids one time. And they're like, yes, sir. And I was like, oh, that's new. Because I was used to, like, kind of having that pushback or kind of having that battle. Like, I'm not going to do that. I remember we did up-downs the first time, and they were like, 1, sir, 2, sir. And I was like, man, these are really good kids. I was like, you don't have to say sir, but thank you. You know what I mean? So that's been really nice to deal with. Parents down here have been really nice. I haven't had parents. I've had a couple, I guess you could say. But haven't had as many thinking, because where I came from too, if you had money, you thought all of a sudden that your opinion mattered. So down here, the parents have been really nice, letting me coach the kids hard, and so really enjoyed the community aspect. I think like tonight, y'all have a team dinner, right?
Mm-hmm,
so,
yes, sir.
And that's something we didn't do for our guys at a bigger school. At a 6A level, I just don't think logistically you can do that. Here, I kind of like how it's more of, everybody knows everybody, and you got what you got, and you guys, some of y'all know the middle school cats, and y'all have all known each other since probably elementary. Nobody really probably leaves. If they do, you probably still stick around and talk to each other. You know what I mean? So it's been good.
Do you notice the difference with new coaches and like the cultural change in our football team?
I do, and it was at the start of the season and during summer workouts that you could tell, previous years we didn't really have much kids show up, and you could tell during our record it didn't really show as well. So seeing how most of our varsity kids and some JV, a lot of JV people too, show up, it just like you could just see that change, see how the impact of the coaches made a difference, and especially in practice, our work ethic, they preach about effort, intensity, and control your emotions, and that's a big thing for us this year. And I feel like from the start of my freshman year to where I am now as a senior, I feel like it definitely has changed a lot better.
And the record hadn't shown it yet, but the coaches that have been here, they've even said like it's a night and day difference. I mean, after the Odom game, I was kind of down on myself. Not, you're a competitor, obviously. I mean, you guys were down probably as well, taking a thumping like that. But I had community members and coaches that have been here say, "Oh man, the kids are responding well. They're not throwing tantrums on the sideline and stuff." So the community is seeing it, and it's not in the wins. And for me, I had to take a step back and be like, okay, we are doing some change here. We are doing some good things. So that, going on what Isaac is saying, you are seeing that change with the effort, intensity. I mean, during fifth period today, they're out there running full speed out there, on and off the field, holding each other accountable. So I'm seeing that myself.
The biggest change I've seen personally is the attitude in our athletes. Like last year, I would say that you tell somebody, do this, and they'd be like, oh, no, argue. I like how this year you say it and they do it, and it's not a big argument, and we're just trying to get better as a whole.
And I think that goes back to you guys too, though. I mean, because when I got here, now that you say that, that kind of shocks me because I haven't seen that from them this whole time. I don't know if it was maybe because of new coaches that you guys were giving us a new chance, but from the get-go, like I said earlier, y'all haven't fought us back on anything. And now we've had a couple, but we've been able to, either they got on board or they decided, hey, I don't want to do this, which is fine. And like we told them, it's not personal, so if you don't want to play football anymore, that's fine. I'd rather want to be out there working with somebody that wants to be out there than work with somebody that's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know what I mean? Because you can't rely on that person. You can't trust them. And so, I told the kids, you can run a 6 flat. I don't care as long as you're out here every day trying to get better. I'll find a spot for you eventually. You know what I mean? I'm not guaranteeing you a starting job. We will find somewhere for you to play on this team. So I think they really hit that mindset on just, like Randy was saying earlier, of I can get in their butt and I'm not getting like getting dog cussed at, or no, I'm not going to do it. So that's been a good change as well. Mindset. Manage our emotions, baby.
What would you say is one of the biggest obstacles you faced as an athlete throughout your years?
I'd say personally it's definitely being undersized. I felt like when I was going into my freshman and sophomore year, I would be overlooked. But again, throughout my work ethic, throughout how hard I practice and to what I could show in special teams in the games, it definitely earned me a starting spot.
And he kind of had that overlook with me too when I first got here because, as a new coach, you don't know anything, don't know the players. And so Isaac's not the biggest, but I was watching last year's film and all the games, and, he just kept, I didn't know personally who he was. I just saw this number keep popping up, and I finally asked Coach Davis, I was like, who's that? And he's like, that's Isaac. And, I went up to him and I apologized to him and said, hey, I probably overlooked you. And so I probably rubbed you the wrong way. So I just want you to know you got a fair shot with me and all that. And ever since then, he's been, competing his tail off and doing what he needs to do to where he's, I've moved him to multiple starting positions, and he's never said no. He's always, yes, sir, whatever you need, whatever role. And he's been good for, I got a couple of sophomores that are behind him and they compete for that job. And every week he keeps being the one taking that job. It's about competition. So, the players even know, you might start one week, it doesn't matter for next week. And it's not, again, personal. It's literally who's practicing hard and all that, who deserves it that week. You know what I mean? If you want to start, you got next week to try and go earn that spot. If the guy beats you and he earns that spot, then that's only going to make us better. Iron sharpens iron. It doesn't do us any good to sit there and have a kid, he's the starter, and me go tell the backup, hey, you have no shot, because what's the backup going to do all year? Nothing. And I'm not going to blame the backup because I'll do the same thing, So they all know they have an opportunity. I mean, we've had, how many guys we had? Different lineups. I mean, we've had different DNs. I mean, Robert Ray, what was he, a third string starting now? I mean, now he's starting. He started the last couple games. And he took over for a young sophomore he's got a bright future. But when we told that sophomore, like, hey, Robert's doing better than you, I mean, you could tell the sophomore was disappointed, rightfully so. He should be. He shouldn't have been happy that he lost his job. And so we basically told that sophomore, like, hey, go compete and get your spot back. And so it's only going to make him better, which it has on both parts.
So for the people who don't know what you coach, and what is your role for this team?
So I'm the defensive coordinator here at Aransas Pass, and I coach up the secondary. And so secondary really has been the big thing that I've been trying to work on for our team this year. I would like to get to the D-line more if I could, and just the linebackers in general. But right now, I got to stay with these guys. And, I mean, you go back to, it's night and day difference from where they are, from where we started. And you can just see, like, a couple weeks ago when I was asking, like, get your eyes off the quarterback, I forgot which one said it. And, well, Coach, it's zone. It's zone, so I get to stare at the quarterback. And I kind of never had thought about it that way. And so I kind of apologized to that kid. And I was like, I'm glad he said it, because then I was able to fix, okay, this makes sense. Because every time it was zone, they'd look at the quarterback. And now that they understand, like, no, you got to diagnose routes first, then you can look back. It's gone 10 times better on the secondary stuff. So here, hopefully in a couple weeks, I can start moseying down to the D-line and linebackers. Not that those coaches aren't doing their job. They're doing a great job getting you guys ready as well. It's more so me just wanting to make sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing. So, and as well as the associate head coach on the football team and head track. So looking forward to get guys faster in the offseason.
What would you say is your favorite part of this job?
Just working with the kids every day. I mean, some of you guys think because I got my RBF face, y'all think I'm mad more than anything, and more so I'm just like focused and in tune with what I'm doing. So, I had a student just now ask me about, you ready to kiss the goat? And I'm sitting there watching huddle film and kind of just didn't mean to tune her out or anything like that, but I'm just focused on the work and stuff. So, after that question, I heard, well, he might be mad or something like that, And so after I got done with what I was doing, about 5-10 minutes later, I basically said, hey, what was your question? I apologize, you know what I mean? But every day, coming with you guys, it's a different day. It's not the same. It's kind of what I told myself growing up that, after college football, I wanted to do, I had the opportunity to do a GA. I didn't want to do graduate assistant stuff at Angelo State. And sometimes I regret not doing that, but GAs are coaches, but they get treated pretty bad in the fact that they got cussed out a lot by the head coaches and the coaches on staff, because they're kind of the grunt work guys and kind of, like what Juan is for us, that's what a GA is. And so I had told myself I didn't want to get into, behind a desk and work a 9-to-5 job, and it's the same people, the same job every day. Sadly, like I said, Isaac will be gone after this year, but there will be a new freshman, a new kid next year coming in, and so like it's a constant change. And you guys keep me young. Like and sometimes people probably think I play around too much that are my age, but they don't understand from my interactions with you guys. I mean, that's how I kind of have to be, and I enjoy it because I'm the oldest of 4 brothers, so it's just a natural fit for me, you know what I mean? So I would have to say number 1 is working with you guys by far and away.
How much do you think you've improved this year, Isaac?
I'd say drastically. I know a lot. Last year, I would always keep my eyes on the quarterback, and I wouldn't really understand what I was really doing. I just knew the basic stuff. So with Coach Martin coming in for the secondary, it's helped me understand my job, understand where I'm supposed to be, and to help me understand how I can improve myself in certain situations. So in practice, he was teaching us about identifying the routes, and if my man goes in, I use my finger, it'll take me to someone else coming my way. I'm in my spot, I'm in my place, I'm able to stop him. So I think that was really helpful. And it's only the start of the season too, so I'm excited to see where I could be in the future.
So you feel the change in coaches makes you understand the program more?
Totally.
Doing my job.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
What's some advice you would want to give to athletes, whether it be for sports or in life in general?
Do whatever you want to do, and whatever you do in life and choose to do, give it your all. I mean, put in what you want to get out of it. If you want, like I go full effort, and I tell the players all the time, like I showed them my hours of film, and I think it was like 50 hours one week. I think I'm sitting at 35 this week right now. But that's because this is my job. I put max effort in it. Don't let somebody pass you up. There's only 24 hours in the day, and I tell the kids you can sleep when you're dead. And I'm not trying to say like don't get sleep. You obviously need sleep. But what I'm saying is I hear a lot of kids your generation like, oh, I'm tired, I'm this. I mean, you only got one life to live, So just put in that full effort, and it's going to get hard. Adversity hits everybody. Don't quit. Because quitting becomes a habit, and quitting becomes really easy. And in y'all's generation, if y'all don't like something or somebody's opinion, I really feel you guys just kind of, nah, I'm done with that. You know what I mean? Instead of if you probably talked with that person or, figured out some more of that, you might have, your opinions changed based off of your first impression. So my advice would be just, whatever you do, give max effort to it, and, just don't quit, because like I said, that becomes a habit. That's kind of my, like last night I started working out, sadly, this week. And so like last night I got done to rep 7. I was supposed to do 10, and I kind of got mad at myself and was like, no, you know what you're supposed to do. And that's just the way my mind's been trained due to me playing football. Things got hard in practice, things get hard in a workout. You can either quit or you can push through it. And that's kind of what, the weights and the running and the training all taught me for sports in general. So that's my advice there. Hope that's good for you guys.
Personally, my favorite change in our program is the way we are in the weight room. I feel like since we changed the layout and the workouts, personally I love the weight room. And maybe not everybody's as hyped as me to be in there, but I really like the way we worked out. Yeah.
You can give me a yell.
It's too quiet in here for that.
Oh yeah, Randy gets it going with the yelling. So if y'all come to the games, Randy's usually the one on the sideline yelling like the Samoans, but he does it way better than the Samoans. And then now you got like other people trying to yell like you, and it's like not the same. So I mean, like the weight room, we want it to be better, and I think since Coach Davis got in here, he's mentioned that it has gotten better. Obviously, it's got to be better. Sadly, you probably won't see that benefit of it, but you guys will. I think these seniors here are laying a good groundwork for that work ethic. Like Royce and those guys, Ricky, laying that groundwork for you guys to take over, and then those sophomores hopefully will follow you guys. So, weight room needs to be better, but like you said, I've noticed a change there, night and day from when I got here in June. So, would you agree with that?
I like the leadership in our program. I feel like compared to last year, it's not at where it needs to be, but compared to last year, it's gotten a lot better.
Definitely. I feel like, and it's bad to say, but truthfully, I feel like our seniors last year, we only had like 3 seniors, I'm pretty sure, and they weren't really able to be leaders. So it was some of the juniors that had to step up too, but they're kids. They're not really gonna set a perfect leadership role. So them transitioning into being a senior, getting that mindset of them soon becoming an adult and having the realization that people are going to look up to them, I feel like that's definitely helped a lot too.
Well, I think the one thing too, from what I heard, that other coach couldn't do it, but accountability. Ricky said it when I asked, what do y'all want out of us? Just hold us accountable. And so that's what we've done, is hold you guys accountable. And, I think you're seeing it. We've ran others off, that didn't want to be held to that standard, didn't want to be held accountable. And so you've seen a change where the players, for example, are starting to lead things and starting to do things, without us as coaches having to say stuff, and that makes it to where us as coaches can focus on football more so than having to go handle a discipline issue or go find somebody's shorts or go do something, a grade issue. I mean, it just makes it to where us as coaches, we don't wake up every day like, man, who am I going to yell at today? I mean, same with teachers. Most of us, we wake up thinking more so like, I hope it's a good day. Hope everybody gets along. It's not trying to go catch people in the I got you moments, you know what I mean? So I think the accountability piece has made it to where you guys are more conducive to what we're doing. And like I said, that last coach, I don't think he just, I don't know, I'm not making an excuse for anybody, but I don't know why. I just don't think he had the numbers. If he held y'all accountable, he was not going to have a football team, I don't think, from what I'm hearing. So I think, is it Coach Z? Was that the one? Who was the head coach? Coach Taylor?
Coach Taylor.
I think Coach Taylor did a good job of trying to build the program back up from what I was hearing, because it starts back in 2020. Because he got here in, 2021? So when he was here?
My 7th grade year?
Yeah.
Your 8th?
So right after COVID, kind of
Yes,
that time. So from what I heard, the program itself, he just had to build up. And so he couldn't hold people accountable, because if he did and make it tough, a lot of people would have just up and left, And it's been nice to see, like, some guys have actually come back that have left and stuck it out, you know what I mean? And so me and Coach Davis told those guys we're always willing to give guys that, you didn't quit on us or anything like that, and we didn't know what your situation was, so we're willing to work with you and, give you an opportunity. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and if it works out, great, so.
I like how nothing is given on our team. Like, even our starting quarterback, if he knows that if he slacks off or doesn't do something right, he knows that there's somebody right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite part of our team, that you have to work for your spot no matter what.
Yes, and I think y'all really embodied that. I mean, and you'll see it starting the next week, when we get to the JV stuff, that, even those JV guys, think about 5 weeks ago, could we even have the JV guys go against y'all? No, and then you saw, was it yesterday morning, those JV guys, we've trimmed some fat off, you know what I mean? Some kids that didn't need to play football, which is okay, got out of the program, so now it's less, dead time on the sidelines over there, and it's more work time, and I thought the JV kids have really bought in to what we're trying to do and trying to help you guys out as a program, you know what I mean? They've really taken a back seat and understanding my roles to try and help that varsity team get ready for Friday, so I thought they've done good, and that's because of y'all's leadership too, so thank y'all.
How do you feel the change from being a freshman looking up to the seniors on varsity to now being a senior on varsity with freshmen looking up to you as a role model?
I feel like it's definitely uplifting. Like having the sense of someone looking at you and being like, dang, I'm gonna be like that dude. Like I really try my best to be positive, to uplift people, or to just bring some excitement like Randy does. Randy in the weight room, he's amazing. Like, Randy brings that energy. We're not matching it yet, but I'm pretty sure in the coming time we definitely will. So them seeing Randy, them seeing us, any other seniors, just like bring it every single day, I feel like that they're going to do that too. So instead of it just being the seniors, it's going to be the juniors, the sophomore. JV's going to look at that, the freshmen, and that's just going to push our program to become great instead of good. And that's what I'm hoping for.
And I think with Isaac, you look, he mentioned his size earlier. I think for a lot of kids, you look at Isaac, you see a kid out there, he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, but he's one of those that plays with great effort and great intensity. So you look at somebody, if you're watching Isaac on a Friday, you're sitting there like, man, I don't have to be the biggest, I don't have to be the fastest, so I have a shot, you know what I mean? And he's out there, I think last week was one of the top tacklers, and he's had a couple weeks where he's one of the top tacklers, and that's simply because of how hard he plays, and he plays, we were down, about 44 to Odom, and with 3 minutes to go, he's still flying around playing like it's first quarter 15-14 ball game, you know what I mean? So that as well as something that's here. You as a coach, I can't teach that, I can't coach that. You got to have it here, and that's one of those things he has. And again, that's why I went to him in the summertime. It was like, hey, don't be out on me. I apologize for what I thought because I was an idiot, and so I think he's respected that as well.
So would you say accountability not only goes towards players but coaches themselves?
I think so. We have to hold each other accountable as coaches. My role is to make sure our coaches also understand, like when we get into the white lines, we're there coaching. Like we're not there to stand around and have a good time. Like there's times where like coaches want to come up and talk to me in the middle of something, and I'm all over the place. You ask these guys, like I'll be here 1 minute, here, like I just bounce around. It's because I'm constantly coaching, and there's always something you can find. I mean, if a player, and I told the guys that when I first got here, like you're never gonna have a perfect practice, and I don't want you to get disappointed when I sit there and say, well, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, because there's always something I can find. Now, if you ever get to that point where you're having a perfect practice, then I'm gonna have college coaches in here and other people in here like, hey, I need to see that kid. You know what I mean? And we're working towards that right now. But the accountability, they've hold us accountable, and if we're not here doing our job, I mean, they've mentioned, you look at last staff. The last staff, did they hold y'all really accountable, and did y'all hold them accountable to that standard? Or were y'all happy with, man, it's kind of chill, not really having to work too hard, it's all right, you know what I mean? But then when you got the game day, how'd that feel?
Yeah, I think it was just accepted. What is your biggest goal for the future of our program?
I think you got to do it in baby steps. I mean, the biggest goal right now, obviously, first and foremost, I want a winning season for you guys. And then second, I would like to see you guys at least get to the playoffs. Then once we start doing that, the third goal would be start district championships, or at least competing for a district championship. And then obviously the fourth goal every year after that, once you're at that mindset, should be going to try and win a state title. That's hopefully where we can get you guys at. And like I said, y'all are seeing it because y'all are bought into what we're trying to do. I mean, you're not fighting us on it. I've seen other places where the coach comes in and the team fights them on it, and when you do that, you're done with. So first and foremost is be to get you guys on a winning season. Because once that happens, I think you'll see other kids want to come out and be a part of the program. Like I hear kids say in classroom, I don't really try and say anything to them, but are you going to go to the football game? Oh, heck no, I'm not going to go. Y'all, not really supporting those guys, but yet they want to talk crap to our guys, but yet you don't want to go join them or anything like that. So, like, if you're better, then why don't you come out there and join the football team? Otherwise, like, why are you talking? Like, this is your school. We're representing the community. I mean, I tell the players all the time, like, I'm here for the players, coaches, and the community. That's that's my why. That's my purpose. I'm a competitive junkie, and that could be a good thing and a bad thing at times. I mean, bad things at times. I mean, you saw me in the first half. The competitive junkie was pretty upset with what defense was doing, and so if you didn't know how I am as a person, you're sitting there probably thinking like, oh, this guy's terrible, But I want our guys to walk around with their head held high and take pride in this program. Like when we lost to Ingleside, I was really proud of the guys, but you could tell they really wanted that win. And, I'm not going to say it affected us the following week, but I think it did affect us the following week. I mean, I think we were still upset about a game that we probably should have won, and we were probably still thinking about that when we got to Odom. But first and foremost, I want them to you guys to be able to take pride in the school, and I want people to understand where AP is. Because I came from a school, Coach Davis' dad was there. We were 2-8, and then they were 0-10 the previous year, and then we went to the playoffs my senior year. And after that, we were going 3 rounds deep. But it was all started with us and the coaches and putting in the work and trusting the coaches as the players. You know what I mean? Like trusting the game plan and that'd be my first goal for everybody here. End goal is always a state title, but you got to start with baby steps. Can't jump. You got to trust the process. What would be your goal?
Personally, I want to be able to run and lift some heavy weight. That's all I want.
Does everybody know what happened? Why you can't run and do all that?
I think people I know, but I tore my ACL.
You have a scar there to show?
Yeah. Tore my ACL.
Chicks dig scars.
You're gonna love this one.
What do you
Glory lasts forever.
Yeah, but that's my biggest goal, to be able to run and play next year.
And I will say, I mean, Randy's got his injury, but Randy's our guy, film and practice. I mean, he's found ways to be a part of this team and still have a role, and that goes back to what I was saying, like, people are finding roles and not making excuses on why they don't have this. I mean, Randy could easily probably say, well, I'm not going to go out to practice, I'm not playing, because we do have some that do that. Instead, Randy's like, nah, I'm going to find ways to help this team out, even though I can't, help physically. I can do things behind the scenes, which he does. He keeps people up emotionally. And like I said, all the film we have from practice, which was something I think you guys weren't doing previously, that has helped tremendously with our guys. And that's all due to Randy doing that. So we're not going to talk about drone accidents.
Anyway, the biggest thing I try to preach is showing up, because if I can show up to a workout with crutches, you can show up.
Exactly. Y'all need to go put money in Coach Garza, Coach Thompson's. Who else is competing in that?
You.
Not my bowl. That's what I'm trying to get promoted here.
Someone put $100 bills in
And
Mr.
Mr.
Thompson.
But isn't this the people like that they don't like? That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, man, I'm just got here and people don't like Coach Martin.
I think they just want to see you kiss a goat.
We want to see.
Why? But people don't even know who I am.
Yeah,
They
the
gonna
freshmen
find out.
that donated $100 don't know who that Mr. Thompson is.
Freshman?
Yeah, it's like she's in the Mr. magazine.
Y'all are mean. Y'all want to see me kiss a goat?
Pucker them lips, baby.
Not like I'm not even gonna talk about that.
I think next year y'all should have a senior kiss a go and Randy be one of them.
Oh, they're gonna kiss me because I'm the goat or what?
No.
That's what they should do is have some contest like that. Not us as because then I think the students would really pay some money.
Shoot.
You might even have the teachers pay for some money because I put in some money to watch Randy kiss a goat.
I want a dad. I can't do that.
So what do you guys that are not a part of the program want to see from the football team?
Honestly, want to see a community that's like, hey, you're gonna come to the football game? Yeah, man, we're competing against so and so. Oh yeah, I remember last year it was a real good game. Like, I want to see the student section, the crowd go wild after every play.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see students more involved and be like, man, well, I'm just going to use Ricky. I'd be like, man, Ricky, you played good last night. I don't know, just more involved in our team in general.
I think if the students had, their support from the students goes a long way, When your community's behind you, win, lose, or draw, it's a long way. It goes a long way. And I think a lot of students could be out there for their little 2 hours or whatever, and they just make stupid excuses. Oh, I got this going on. I've been around here at 7 o'clock on a Friday. Unless you're at the beach, I don't think much is going on around here. So you could always come out and support the support the team, and they would like it as well. You get out there, have a big crowd, and just make that energy and stuff. I don't think the crowd really understands how important their role is. You look at the Cowboys. I'm not talking NFL here, but you look at their fan base that goes in there. It's not a bunch of guys with no T-shirts on and got letters on their chest. You watch the Cleveland Browns or something. They got the crazies hitting stuff, and you go Cowboys game. Everybody's sitting there, suits on, quiet. Because it's more your fan base that you're going to is a higher fan base. So I think if we got our crazies out there, and whether we're down by 20 or up by 20, keeping that same energy, the guys would play a little bit different. I think people would see that, but. It's hard to hear negative all the time as a player and then still come out and do it, and that's why I tell people if you want to be negative, we're always open, the door's open. We'd like to have more guys out there, so if you think you can help us out, by all means, come on out there, but if you're talking and on the sideline, then, yeah, you just a puppy on the porch, in my opinion. That's all you are, so.
Yes, sir. Well, thank y'all for coming on the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Sorry I talk too much.
You're good. You're good. That's my fault. You're good.
Don't edit that one either.
And hope to see y'all next time on the Panthers.